What's going on, fellas? This is Sir Studmuffin, leader of Affliction, and this is Warwind number 46, War Recap number 3 against Clash of ST-N1. It's a clan from France, level 5 clan actually, and I think we did fairly well this war, 57 to 51. Most of the struggle, once again, is with the TH9s. The TH8s did fairly well. I think we had one TH9 come down and bully attack. But other than that, I was pretty happy. 17 3 stars, 3 2 stars, enemy 12 3 stars, 7 2 stars, and 1 1 star. Other clan was 63 win clan, so not terrible. And we'll go ahead and show what they did. Um, Looks like a couple bully attacks here, and yeah, a couple lower end Town Hall 8 3 stars, but our mid Town Hall 8s all held for level 2, or 2 stars against TH8s, which was solid. All of our TH9s held, and I actually held for 1 star. So let's go ahead and look at this war. For on our end, we did fairly well. Like I said, we got all the Town Hall 8s and 7s. Only thing we didn't get were the 9s, 2, 3, and 4. Um, excuse me. I actually had a logo wipe attack that I don't think is really necessarily necessary to show. Um, but if you want to watch it, I basically went too much on the go wipe part, and I should have brought more loons. I might have ran a holo on this base, but I actually two-start this base. Waffle two-start this base as well. And I mean, those replays were okay, but not exactly what I want to show. I want to show kind of what we did that was well. And then Dukes got a 90% on force. So they weren't necessarily, they were all high percentage attacks, not necessarily terrible attacks. Um, let's go ahead and look at Tim's attack on 5. This is a cleanup attack. And this base is called the Turtle. It's a little modified from the Turtle. It's form based though. Um, First thing to notice, these two air defenses right here. Notice that they're out of range, or sorry, these defenses appear out of range, so you can use loons on that for the bait, which is fairly convenient. And this CC, you might have to add a couple hogs or so, but you're still taking out 1, 2, 3, 4 defenses with, let's say about, let's see, it'd be 2 loons per or archer tower, so that'd be 4, 6 loons altogether. So that's a fairly good trade. Um, the first attack, Slaughter ran his troops from this area over here, the kill squad, into the queen. That didn't work as well. So on the second attack, Tim was the one that he didn't really necessarily consult with me, which is fine. It was early in the morning for me and in the afternoon for him, different time zones. But he actually ran from the bottom, which is what I would have done and was going to suggest to him. So let's go ahead and look at this attack. This is going to be a Goho attack. Well, I'd probably call this a Holo attack, um, which is kind of like a Goho Holo But anyhow, he does the 2-for-1 trades up here and the 1-for-1 trades. Gets those defenses out pretty solidly. Then he brings some, looks like some more loons to get the CC pull. Probably wouldn't have done that. Probably would have just gone with hogs. Um, I don't see the whole point with loons just because of the air defense. And after that initial point that I was talking about, there's really no point. So you see here, bring some hogs. Make sure to get the full lure. This base had a lot of archers and whiz in it, so that was a good call. Usually ground troops are better for the CC pull anyways, just because, number one, if they have loons or something, um, those aren't detected by air troops in the pull. So then he drops a 2-for-1 trade here. The reason he's able to do that with the loons is actually, it looks like you try to drop 2 loons on the archer towers and 2 loons on the cannons. I would have just brought 1 for the cannons. Even though those air defense are hitting the cannons, the other loons were tanking it, so there's really no point. So he probably brought 1 too many loons there. Could have brought more hogs. And those cannons, they're not going to do a whole lot in this raid. But he goes ahead. The CC kill looks a little sloppy. I would have tried and got the troops at the bottom a little more bunched up. But he gets the full kill. And then he continues with the Golem CC. He drops a 2 funnel whiz. That's a great funnel. It was a really smart idea to get those defenses out too, because you see how much more effective his CC is going to be. You're going to see those whiz. They do get picked off a little, but they were able to clear a good amount of the base as well. This whiz on the right's able to hit the whiz tower, and then he gets the queen, and he gets a giant bomb. So very effective use of his troops. Then he brings a 2-finger deployment on the right and left side. So 1-finger deployment on both sides. Drops 2 great heal spells in the core. That's how I would have done it because of how the base is laid out. And then he drops his final heal spell just outside of the core on these last defenses. So pretty solid holo wee wee attack. Couple of things to take from this. Number 1, you want to try and get those outer defenses if you can with the loons. That's always a good trade. If you have the opportunity and you see that the defenses are out of range, go for it. Number 2, don't use foreign bases, because the foreign bases, number 1, you can probably look them up and to see what can be exposed and what they have. But number 2, and I don't even think he looked this up, but number 2, most foreign bases are pretty easy to attack. They just look good, and you just have to either watch some videos on it and figure out its weakness. But you're gonna find that most foreign bases are anti 2-star or anti go white bases or something. I mean, this base really isn't that great. There's too many weaknesses with the outer defenses being exposed, and so he's able to just holo wee wee the base, which is really not that hard of an attack. Holo wee wee is hogs, loons, witches, and wizards, and I can't remember if I've shown a video of it, but I believe I've talked about it before. The holo wee wee attack was first coined by Hulk, I believe. I believe in the last One High video they talked with Hulk regarding that, and he was the first one to post it on the forums. That doesn't necessarily mean he made it, but he's credited with the attack. So the next thing I want to show, and I'm really happy with the number of surgical hog attacks we've had. Not only have we had this from our guys, but also some of our new guys. And this is where we're going to have a little bit of a spotlight on Reza. The reason for that being is because he attacks the same base twice. And his attack, if I can recall, is not exactly the same both times. So let's go ahead and look at this base. And I think, let me see. Okay, so the base is a little bit different. On this one, you can notice centralized air defenses. And on this one, yeah, it looks a little bit different, but the whole concept of this base, or the weaknesses in this base are almost the same. On this one, he has a 2x2 space right here, so you can think probable Teslas or giant bombs, centralized air defense. So I believe he ran a holo, TH8 holo, but it's a reverse holo. So that's an interesting attack. That's why I want to show that one. There's a 2x2 space right over here. Probable Teslas in the core. CC pull looks pretty easy. And looks like an outer archer tower that's exposed. You can drop a 2-for-1 loon trade right there. Especially, I mean, you can drop right on top of it. So that's a super exposed archer tower. But let's go ahead and watch this attack, and then we'll see the other attack. But the first thing to note, a square, like you see this box shape, that's a terrible idea. That's a terrible design. You never want to have a box shape. There's several reasons for that. Number one, the troop pathing. You can usually, if it's like a box shape like this, you can usually do an Asian wall of some sort. Um, you can have more effective use of wall breakers because the wall breakers are going to go fairly straight. Um, you can drop go wipe in there, and you can use some sort of holo, I mean, some sort of back end loons or something more than likely, because the defenses are probably going to be like in a ring around the base. So once you take out those air defenses, they're all exposed. I mean, there are so many different reasons not to do this kind of base. So I would highly suggest not doing a square base. But anyhow, you're going to see he is dropping 3 hogs at the beginning. Check your CC ranges, guys. I see what he's doing here. He's getting some use of the hogs, and he's getting a bait, but still, check your range, because that was an easy one giant drop, and I think that was still okay. I believe there's probably a giant bomb or something there. I don't exactly recall. Um, and so if that's the reason, that's okay. But if you can do an easy bait, then do it. You know, you don't need to make a complex bait if it's not required. So that's definitely something to consider. And always check the numbers in the CC as well, so you know about how much troops you should be looking for. So this is a pretty standard kill here at the bottom. I would have dropped a whiz on top of these whiz or something, just to take them out real quick, because you notice how much they're doing to the skellies. And they take out the witches as well. So you definitely need to consider that, and you need to make sure that you take out those whiz if there's a bunch of archers, because those are the ones that are going to hurt your troops, not the archers really. You can use like a Valk or something for the archers, but those whiz, especially with these level 5 whiz, those can really hurt your troops, especially your witches, and it's one shot kill and they're done. So he drops a 2-finger deployment at the bottom right. And then you're going to notice here, he drops his loons early. Super smart, super good. You want to drop the loons earlier than later, but you want to make sure those troops are going to kill the air defense, because now his loons, you're going to notice they're actually usable. They're taking out those air defenses. It takes them a while to travel. Really smart idea there. So this is like I said, it's kind of a reverse holo. He takes out the core with his hogs, and it was actually core giant bombs and 1 Tesla, and not core Teslas like I would think. So that was a little interesting part of the base. Usually there's centralized Teslas of some sort. But you're gonna notice here, he just wrecks this base. After this, pretty much cleanup. For the sake of time, I'm just gonna go through this attack, kind of fast forward. But it was a pretty solid attack, and I liked how he used the base's weaknesses to his advantage. That's an extremely important concept to understand. Um, this next base, he uses a surgical hog attack. You're going to notice some of the differences. Number one, these are 2 centralized air defenses that cover most of the base, with 1 outer air defense right here. You're going to notice all of the outer defenses right here. That's an important concept, because notice in the core, there are no point defenses. So with this amount of space and probable outer giant bombs, where you can just take 1 giant bomb out and you might lose 2, 3, maybe 4 hogs. You'll lose only a few hogs rather than most of your troops. That's important to do if you're able to take that to your advantage, where they kind of have GBs that are sort of hard to get to, but not centralized. Then you can run a surgical hog attack. Like I said, I'm going to make a surgical hog video probably just because of how many surgical hog attacks we're getting. These Town Hall 8 surgical hogs. Absolutely loving that. Um, that's number one, an extremely good attack. And number two, that's a little bit of a higher level of attack. You're going to see surgical hogs more used at Town Hall 9s. It's a newer attack. And that shows number one, my guys are watching the surgical hog videos. They're probably watching my videos. They're watching other videos of their clanmates, and they're watching One Hive and other strategical YouTubers. And that's extremely important to me because that means number one, they care, and number two, um, this is an effective strategy that can be used at Town Hall 9. Um, and the surgical hog, like I've said, it's more of a deployment rather than an actual strategy. Like logo wipe is an actual strategy, and Goho is a strategy, and surgical hogs is kind of a variance of Goho. It's like using a different deployment rather than the Asian wall, but it still takes practice. It takes timing, and that's an extremely important to me. So with this base, like I said, the CC, it's fairly easy to lure. So let's go ahead and watch this attack. Um, Starts off with 4 hogs at the top for the bait. Once again, I mean, if you can, looks like he's trying to take out GB there, so that was actually smart. But still, if you can get an easy bait, go for it. Um, but you used I think it was 3 or 4 troops there to take out one giant bomb, and you get the CC bait. That's a good trade right there. So pretty standard CC kill once again. I liked how this time he used the whiz. I think this is actually his first attack, but he uses the whiz earlier. Um, and let's actually see if his. Okay, so it looks like his whiz die out still. So probably wanted to choose a better area for deployment, but he gets his witches alive. So that was important. Then you're going to notice the numbers here. This is precise numbers. It's about 3 hogs per defense. It's usually, yeah, it's about 3 because the archer towers and the cannons do the same damage. You're going to notice he drops the hogs and starts working his way around the base, drops that inner heal, which is important. But here's one thing to note. When you look at how his attack is, you're going to notice the hogs actually path more clockwise than counterclockwise. So something I would have done differently is I would have gone in a clockwise motion if I noticed that my troops were going to go in a clockwise motion. So if you go counterclockwise, you're going to notice here his hogs that he initially used don't work with his other hogs, and they do take out some defenses, and he gets 1 heal. But if you're able to use 1 heal for several hog deployments, that's so much better. So you're gonna notice here that the hogs at the end, they kind of all work at this last heal. And so with the surgical hog attack, the whole point of it is that your hogs don't work together at the beginning, kind of like with a 2-finger deployment or an Asian wall or anything. You always want the hogs kind of not to work together at the beginning. You want them to take several defenses out if possible, and then you want them to converge in the core where they can use 1 heal spell for several hogs, and that's an important concept to understand. Um, and like I said, I think that's pretty important because if you have 1 heal and you can use it for several hogs rather than using several heals for a few hogs, then that's definitely something to consider. You want to be as efficient as an effective as possible. Um, but I still think that was a really good attack. I love the surgical hog use. Um, I think I'm gonna go GBHRQZ. A new member actually ran a surgical hog. I believe it's his first surgical hog. I'm actually gonna save that for another day. I'm probably gonna make a surgical hog video, like I said. Um, but I'm still happy with a new member. I don't know if I believe he didn't use surgical hog before. So a new member using surgical hog, that's really cool. That means number one, that our guys are showing him new strategies. And number two, that means that our new guys are being trained well. They are comprehensive of these attack strategies. He might have known about it, but he never used it before, so that means he has potential. So I was really happy to see that. Some closing updates, thoughts, maybe some opinions, but really mainly thoughts. Number one, I believe I may or may not have touched on this. I don't believe I've touched on this in a video, but I've talked about this a little bit in chat. And just to close out this video, um, I am implementing, or we are implementing, I have talked in the Elder Co, but we are implementing a new organization strategy for the clan. The basic notion behind the strategy is to take pressure off of me because I'm really getting burnt out right now by how much I'm doing. Now that I'm working as well, that plays into it. And I know this is a war recap video, and I'm not going to talk about this too much, but I thought that you should know this because I don't plan on uploading a video tomorrow or anything. But I want to be able to focus on helping the Town Hall 9s. I want to be able to focus on the YouTube videos and getting the content out there. And I think that this video should be less laggy. I'm gonna try and just have quiet when it's the house is quiet. I'm gonna go right next to my router, just kind of sit down there and make a video. So that should really help with that. Hopefully this quality is good. Please let me know if you have any comments regarding the video. I really want some feedback. I've gotten some feedback about the quality. I've got some feedback about some of my vocabulary. I'm not quite sure what that means, but I'm going to go ahead and look at that more. Hopefully you guys can hear me well, and you don't have to struggle to understand. If there's certain vocabulary or diction that I'm using, please let me know. I can explain. I think it would be good for you though to watch other videos because I do explain some things in other videos. And so I don't want to have to explain, okay, this is what Goho means, or this is what Holo is, or every single video. So once I make the Holo video or a Goho video or how to on those, I think that'll be important. And the other thing is I want to try and figure out what I can do to make my channel different from other content of other YouTubers. Because if you think about it, most YouTubers that are strategical war attack YouTubers are just going to do a recap. They're going to do something about like maybe enemy bases. It's like the same thing every time. And so I want to try and figure out a way to make my channel different. But I still think it's important. I'm not necessarily thinking about popularity right now, but if you guys want to throw out some ideas, you want to see something, the how-to videos and the war recap videos are like the two most common and probably popular things that you're going to see from strategical YouTubers. So, if I can differentiate my clan or my YouTube in the future from those YouTubers, I definitely want to. In the future, we might be looking at gaining popularity with this. But for now, we're just going to keep it for the clan and old Affliction members. And they might share it with their clans, and that's totally fine with me. So, if it takes off from there, that's fine. But I'm not publicly advertising the YouTube channel. The other thing is we are looking to potentially forge alliances with other clans. It's kind of a weird term probably, but it's one I've heard. But the notion behind that is we've been so isolationist for so long, and we've probably not been able to grow as much as we should. We've tried feeder clans that haven't worked out. We've tried other things to make the clan grow, but I think also it's important for us to help other clans, learn from other clans, and visit other clans, maybe see what they're doing. But with seeing what they're doing, there needs to be an exchange of information. I don't want other clans just coming in and seeing what we do and then just taking what we do and not giving anything back. There needs to be an exchange of information, not a full one-sided effect upon that I guess visit or exchange of info or whatnot. So I might be messing up the terminology there, but I think you get what I'm saying. We need to gain stuff too. I want them, other clans, to gain stuff from us, but I want to potentially set up wars with other clans, show them and maybe teach them, have their members kind of war with us potentially. You know how particular I am with letting people war with us, but I want to expand our horizons and really try and branch out because I think it's important. Number one, if there's another client that might not be doing something as well as we are, uh, you can kind of have an appreciation for why we do certain things the way we do. Number two, if they're doing stuff better than us, we can see, okay, this is something we could implement in ours. But I don't want to just copy other clans. I don't want clans copying us. And I actually might start making videos. Once I decide to go for popularity in the YouTube channel, I might make videos about how to lead and effective things with leadership, talk about the war matchmaking and whatnot, and the complex algorithm and my theory upon that. So those are some ideas that I have. And I apologize because this last part of the video is probably a little longer than I expected and hoped for. But I think those are some updates and knowledge that you guys should know. Um, if you want me to make a video regarding this new system, I definitely can. I'm going to privatize that video though, because like I said, when it comes to stuff like organization and structure right now, we're still kind of keeping that to ourselves. Um, we got to figure out and try to decide what information we want to give out. I want to be transparent, but to a degree. I don't want other clients copying us. There's certain things that we do well that I don't know if I want other clients to do well yet. So I don't know. That might sound a little selfish, but I work so hard to make sure that this clan runs well. Um, that I don't want to just give my ideas out there and have other clients do it that haven't really put in the time to learn some of the things that I've learned. But I've been doing this for about a year now, and so I think it's about time that I share some of the knowledge that I have. So that'll about wrap this video up. Like I said, if you want me to, what I'll do is I'll make a private video regarding that. And I'm also going to make a private video on base designs, some of our bases, and that will be private. I will give the links on Kick. That will be for Affliction members only. That will not be for other clans. I'm sorry for that. The reason for that being is if we do war, matchmaking or anything like that with other clans, I don't want them to already know what our bases look like, and I want to show certain things regarding the bases in our clan. I think that's important because I think there are some things that we can definitely fix regarding that. Once again, apologize for the longer video. This is getting closer to about 30-minute video. You can skip the last part if you want. You can skip different parts of the video if you want. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully you guys learned from this. And hopefully these new updates should be coming soon. The How to Dragon video will come soon. I'm going to start making How to Surgical Hog parts of the video. But I'm still working on the Dragon video. I probably need some more replays. Because most of the level 6 plus ARD dragon attacks that we're having, we haven't seen that as much. It's been mainly hogs against level 6 ARD and the higher bases. But finally, that should wrap out this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this like I said, and I hope y'all have a great day.